Well, as I said last night, we are facing critical times in relation to China, and in particular the relationship between the leader of the free world, America, and China. The Nancy Pelosi visit to Taiwan is now throwing up critical issues. And I'll go to Peggy Grande, who is the former executive assistant to the American president who championed freedom, Ronald Reagan. But Peggy, before we get on to that, welcome again. We love having you on the program. But there is a story in the last hour, a couple of hours, that has overtaken all of this. The FBI have raided Donald Trump's residence in Florida. What do you know about that?
Well, the details are still coming out, and thank you, Alan, for having me on as always. And this is something that's unprecedented and potentially illegal. Nobody even knows what the search warrant said. Nobody knows what the process was that they went to go through it. But you would have to assume that it would have been a very strenuous process to be able to serve a warrant like this on the former president's home. Now, he was not home at the time, but apparently upwards of 50 FBI agents searched every part of the office, broke into his personal safe, and removed up to 15 boxes from the premises without previously searching them on premises, which is how it's supposed to be done. So nobody knows exactly what's happening, but there's a sure suspicion about not only the timing of this, but the political motivation of this. And frankly, the American people are not going to be happy about this, because if you can weaponize the DOJ and the FBI against a former president, think how it could be weaponized against the average American person who certainly doesn't have the support and infrastructure around to protect themselves like he does.
Extraordinary. Let me go, well, we'll have more on that, of course, as time passes, but just let me go to an equally extraordinary but critical issue. On July 28, which is, as I'm speaking to you, 12 days ago, what do we know as fact is that the American President Biden spoke with the Chinese President Xi. The conversation allegedly went for over 2 hours, though, as I've previously said, I suspect the Chinese leader might have been hanging on at the end, wondering whether or not Biden had fallen asleep. But Peggy, following that meeting, the telephone call became a tale of two versions. The White House, and this is critical in relation to the Pelosi visit to Taiwan, the White House was insisting that Biden had scolded the Chinese President Xi about forced labour and genocide involving the Uyghur Muslims. But China says that's fake news, and Biden never raised either topic in the call between the two men. Peggy, what are we to make of this?
Well, it's certainly interesting times when China is calling out fake news, right? And I don't know if she was laughing on the other end of the line. He was probably laughing, not falling asleep, because Biden has become a joke. He has shown nothing but weakness. And remember that this all started with the Democrats, because it started with a call with Putin and a call with Zelensky when Donald Trump was president. And the Democrats demanded that these call transcripts be released. And this had never been done before. And I actually believe that the president of the United States has a right to have a private call with leaders all over the world and outside of the scope and scrutiny of the media and the public. But that was not what the Democrats wanted. They demanded these transcripts be released. And I think they thought Donald Trump would put up a fight. But instead, he called their bluff and he said, fine, release the transcripts. And in fact, he said, it was a perfect call. It was a beautiful call, remember? And so that's how that went out. And so now the Democrats are saying, no, we shouldn't have to release these transcripts. But they're the one who started this. And
That's
so now
right.
there is an expectation from the public and the press that we're going to see these transcripts.